Hello, all of you today, great manifestors, high vibrational beings. I hope you are well today. Before we get into this conversation, I want to first off start off saying thank you for tuning in to my channel again. I'm Mr. Spiritual Long, where I talk the law of attraction and how to align yourself with the things that you want to attract. So I hope you guys are having a great day. It's currently snowing where I'm at in South Carolina, and it hasn't snowed here for a while. It's kind of different, but it tells me that, like I had stated on the previous video, that the energy is shifting. You know, it's very important to pay attention to your vibration nowadays because of a lot of things going on around the world that's supposed to be working out for your benefit. You see, whenever you take account of the law of attraction and really understanding the concepts of raising up your vibration to get on a certain frequency that you want to attract everything in your life. That frequency is where everything is at. As I had stated in previous videos, you know, we exist energetically. We exist on different planes and different dimensions all at once. Higher dimensions that we exist in, we just don't know it. And we're not tuning our frequency to exist in those higher realms. But whenever you tune your frequency, then you start to raise up your vibration. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people stay on the same channel, never tweaking and tuning their frequency. And it's so important to do these things and implement these things in your life so you can attract wealth, abundance, happiness, love. All of those things are on a certain frequency. And we lack the knowledge. A lot of us lack the knowledge, but not you guys, because you guys are on this here channel. And nothing is coincidental and nothing happens by accident. I was supposed to create this channel. I was supposed to talk to you all, and I was supposed to give you guys a certain understanding. If you're tuning into my channel every day, again, thank you. Keep watching, and we're going to keep manifesting our best lives. So, the law of vibration. We need to get a good concept on that law, because that law is very important. Just like the law of energy, the law of thermodynamics, the law of gravity, the law of vibration is equal to the law of gravity. They are one and the same. If you don't take an account of your vibration and understanding that everything in this universe is on a certain frequency, and the atoms, they are vibrating a certain way. If you don't take account of that you're starting to get a realization of that, okay, these walls, they might look clear, or they might feel hard, or this handle right here might seem solid, but when you really think about it, it's really not. You're not on a frequency where you can go through it, because you're not matching up to that frequency. Everything is bouncing off of each other. That's the reason why whenever you're in this this state of mind, thinking about what you want to attract, you also become entangled with what you're seeking. Because whatever you're seeking, guess what? It's seeking you. Physicists has came up with the ideal of quantum entanglement, meaning two particles can exist at the same time, even if it's on opposite sides of the universe. If you haven't watched that movie Interstellar, it's on Netflix right now, but that movie Interstellar gives us a good idea and a good understanding about quantum physics and quantum entanglement. The guy the astronaut guy, he had went to a dimension where he was floating in space, but it was his future self that he was in the quantum realm, but he was talking to his 11-year-old daughter. But whenever she made out that it was him giving her the messages from a future point of existence, she was in her 30s or 40s. It's a good movie. You guys should check it out. That's the reason why a lot of things that we don't understand, we don't grasp the concept, because we can't make it make sense to us. But if you look at reality, everything is kind of, for me, I look at it like it's kind of like not making sense. Nothing makes sense to me. I don't want to get a good concept on reality. Because I say that because once you feel like you know everything, it's almost kind of like putting a casket on the unknown. You're closing the door once you feel like you know everything. Through your intellect mind, you're closing the door on the possibilities of the things you don't know. That's the reason why it's not good to take an assumption about a particular subject that that you have a small minor understanding about. Religious is one. You don't want to take this is the way it is, this is how it's always been, and this is what you don't want to take that. You don't want to take that ideology to that particular subject. You want to be open-minded, because once you're open-minded, then you're open-minded to different possibilities. Those different possibilities oftentimes leads to different outcomes in your life. If you guys follow me, you always want to have an open mind about certain concepts, because you understand, people before the Western age believed in a certain ideology. Before we came over here to America, our heritage and native language was not English. Our heritage and native being and state of being, we didn't have the same concepts. So what is the real truth? You don't know. Just like I don't know. But I'm not finna put a casket on the possibilities in what can be the truth. If that makes any sense to you guys. For me, I started to think about these concepts when I started to travel. I've been to 14 different countries. I've lived in 10 different cities. I don't want to name off all of the countries because, you know, it's a vast amount of countries that I've been to. But every country that I went to, they had their own ideology and state of thinking. Whenever you go amongst the native people in that land, they have a certain way of thinking about certain concepts. So who's right? Who's wrong? We can't put a casket on things when we don't have a full grasp and understanding about those particular things. You get what I'm saying? The world is so open right now. You can Google certain things. You can YouTube a lot of concepts that you haven't got an understanding about, or you want to get further knowledge about. You can Google it. You can YouTube it. But you want to stay in a state of openness, like almost staying a student. I will forever be a student. I will never feel like I know anything about anything. No. Because my concept is just a belief that's forming. Whenever you put a belief on something, then those beliefs becomes your habitual way of thinking. Open-mindedness is the key to unlocking different doors and different opportunities. Just like I had stated, we exist in multiple dimensions. Therefore, there's multiple different realities. With those different realities, those are multiple different possibilities as well. You want to hit the lotto, where there's a version of you in a parallel universe that exists that has already experienced that. That's called quantum mechanics. But once you begin to understand quantum entanglement, then you'll develop a mindset where you know how to attract things into your life faster, because you become entangled with it. What is seeking you is also, what is you seeking is also seeking you. That's how you become entangled with it. And then, of course, that point of attraction sends off a certain signal, and then that signal gets stronger. It depends how you're waking up throughout the day. That's the reason why it's so important to pay attention to what vibrational frequency that you're operating on. The more you're aligned with your chakras, the more you can attract, and you'll have a bigger energy field leaving your body. You have a bigger energy field leaving your body. If you guys were to do like this with your hands, briskly, right, for a short moment, and then separate your hands, you can feel the energy between your hands. You done shook up your astral body for a brief minute. You can feel your energy. Even if you put your hands in front of your chest like this, say if your shirt was off, you can feel the heat that leaves your body. That heat, your body gives off a certain temperature. That's your energy field. The bigger energy that you have and the more energy that you have, the more you can feel that field leaving your body. Energy is the new currency. Where you place your attention at is where you place your energy at. That's the reason why it's important to pay attention to your energy, and you don't want things to come into your dimension that's going to dimmy down that light that's within you, that energy field. Because the matrix wants your energy. They want you to not figure out who you really are. You're a deliberate creator. We've been manifesting our lives this whole entire time, whether deliberately or unconsciously. We don't pay attention to the things that we say to ourselves, the thoughts. But once you begin to light that light in that dark room where you're beginning to pay attention to your thoughts, and you understand what you're thinking, and you deliberately think, that's when you become a deliberate creator. The way you talk to yourself in the mirror is very important. The way you talk to yourself in the shower, what type of conversations are you having with yourself? I tell you guys how I talk to myself in the shower. I talk to myself on my future self, because my future self is really that person, that autonomic nervous system, your subconscious mind. Autonomic or autonomic, I don't really, it's hard for me to pronounce that word. As you guys know, a lot of people know this, I'm half Puerto Rican, so a lot of words I get tongue-tied with, so please bear with me. But your autonomic nervous system is the thing that talks to you. And whenever it talks to you in the shower, in your car, or in your head, that's your future self guiding your body. And if you don't pay attention and stop it when it's not guiding you in the right direction, you're going to lead down the direction that you don't want to go, because you're creating your life by default. And you're not aware of those unconscious thoughts that you're having. It's important to pay attention to those unconscious thoughts that you're having. speak to yourself futuristically in the direction that you want to go. Like, say if you want to be wealthy, well, a wealthy person will talk to themselves as such. I give you guys a certain, as I always do, I give you a reference. If I think about an interview that I'm doing, I'll tell myself futuristically how I got to the interview, or how I got to a certain level of financial growth. I'll tell myself these things in the mirror. That's how you control your body, because the strongest point of energy leaving your body is your vocal cords. Your vocal cords create a certain frequency and vibration, and your body is the closest thing to your vocal cords. Life and death is in power. You have the power in your tongue to speak life and death. That is very true. That's the reason why it's important to pay attention to how you're talking to yourself every single day, in the mirror, in the shower, in the bathroom. How are you referencing your future self? Because your future self is actually talking to you whenever you're in those states. That's the reason why whenever you talk to yourself positively for a long period of time, you raise up your frequency, because you're knowing yourself, for one, more. You know where you're headed, for two, so it keeps you in a good mood. You're not saying negative things ever to yourself. So you know the direction in which you're headed, and it's creating a state. Whenever you're creating a state, then you become. The state creates the circumstance. You create your state, also your circumstance, but the circumstance has to be first created by your state. Those unconscious thoughts that you're having, whenever you start to begin to talk to yourself and be aware of what you're talking about. I don't know if you guys know that, but it makes a lot of sense to me, because I've been doing it for a while. And the exact direction from my futures, I can tell you guys a story real quick, a reference. I'm gonna give you guys a reference. Whenever I was owning my barbershop, right? And I always give you guys references. I used to tell my clients, and they would tell you, I used to say this: why would I put up with that and I can be in a loft? Any of my clients on here will concur to that. Why would I put up with that and I can be in a loft? And guess what? I ended up going to the loft, as I already knew. This is a year and a half before I got to the loft. I ended up going to the loft. I lived there before I bought my home and all of that, right? I ended up going there, but I was already there in the past in my head. If that makes any sense. I already knew it. A lot of places that you end up at, you already knew that you were going to go there. But you had to be aware of where you're going. Where are you taking yourself to? That's the reason why it's so important, and how you talking to yourself in the bathroom, in the mirror, in the shower. You get what I'm saying? Because that's you, the you up here, that's working on you down here. These concepts are esoteric. I know this, and you guys, a lot of mystics and sage have been talking about these concepts over the years. It's just been brought to light more nowadays because, you know, people got on certain platforms and now they can put it into a dialogue where we can understand it. But I already knew where I was headed back then. And just like before I bought my home, I already knew. I told you guys, I had told a person who I used to deal with that where I was headed and all it is. I told her that. She ain't believe me. But guess what? Yeah, I'm right here in the snow. But I already knew it. Just like the next phase, I already know where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I ain't happy enough right now. I mean, I'm very happy in life, but I'm not happy-go-lucky where I'm going to speak on it. But I already knew where I was headed. I don't know if that concept makes any sense to you guys, but please pay attention to what vibrational frequency that you're operating on and how you're talking to yourself every single day and how you're aligning your life whenever you do talk to yourself. Because whenever you talk to yourself, you're sending off a certain vibration out of your mouth. And your body, which is the matter part, follows the instructions in which you give it. Because you're the one that's giving yourself the instructions to go. Where to go, what to do. You know, I remember during the home buying process, I'll leave you guys with this here story, then, you know, I'm going to get on off of here. During the home buying process, it was so many things that I had to do, but I was talking to myself every single day. I'm going to get this. I got to do this. And I was just in motion. Had so much motion. Nothing was slowing it down. But I was speeding up that motion by giving myself a dialogue on what to do. Of course, I got everything done. And then the end result, I ended up closing the deal. But the thing is, I was talking to myself, and before I even knew that I got the pre-approval, I had wrote down. Of course, the Bible said, write it down and make it plain, and then your visions will come true, so the world can see it. But I really wrote this down, and then it came made manifest. It came faster than what I thought it was gonna come. That was a treat from the universe saying, okay, you've been paying attention to your frequency, and I rock with how you rocking. You get what I'm saying? So here you go. We're going to go ahead and speed this process up for you because certain things are about to happen in your life for you. So it happened faster than what I initially thought it would happen. But I wrote it down. It was like 8 months before I closed. It was like 8 months before I closed. So I ended up closing, as I had said, but I wrote it down and I made it plain. And guess what? When I left my loft, I took a picture of the statement that I had wrote down and I left it there on the counter. So whoever walks by can see, dang, he wrote this down. Now he where he wanted to be at. You know what I'm saying? And I had left it for a specific person, which was a partner of mine. Like, I talked to him, I used to train him, and we used to do certain classes on, you know, attraction and frequency and Bob Proctor and certain teachings. And I made it clear for him that if I can do it, guess what? You can too. Yeah. But anyways, you guys, it's snowing out here. You can't see it. Let me go ahead and show you guys. See the snow on the ground? Yeah, it's snowing out here. I got to clean up my driveway so I can get out my driveway safely. So hope you guys have the best day. Every message that I send it out of love. And as I stated, every last video that I put out, please pay attention to what vibrational frequency that you operating on. It's so important. Your chakras are very important. Love you guys. Hope y'all have a blessed day. I'll check back in with y'all on the next day or so.